Hello, my name is Chris Farmer from LeakyPipe Systems, and if you followed our maintenance link and you have one of these, then you'll also enjoy doing this sort of thing on sand surfaces that are being kept wet. We have installed this easy to adjust electronic controller to take the drudgery away from the watering operation. There's a leaflet in the door, and the rest of the programming is done in this area. Firstly, for the LeakyPipe system to work, this should be in run. This off means nothing's going to happen. So leave it in run, it's the best place to be. I'm going to skip through the date and time setting to get to the important places, start times and run times. If we turn the dial to run times, this is the place where we can set how long a zone waters for. Please remember your riding arena is split up into watering zones. These water sequentially one after the other. A 40 by 20 has 2 zones, a 60 by 20 has 3 zones, 60 by 30, 4 zones. The larger the arena, the more zones you have. Now this controller can work up to 4 zones, using these keys to adjust the selection of the zone and also to enter the amount of time you want each zone to run for. You have a range to choose from 1 minute to 6 hours per zone. Just a note, please check that the A program is selected using the blue PRG button. So we want to set an amount of runtime for each individual zone. This is likely to be the same, but not always the case with the riding arena. Here you can see Zone 4 has been set for 1 minute, and one more press of the button shows the total time for all zones. It's a choice you have depending on how you find the ride. But for this demonstration, I suggest get started with, say, 30 minutes per zone. Now let's use the middle dial and select start times. Now start times are the time of day that you choose a watering cycle to be started. So pick a time of day when you're not using water elsewhere. Say 1 o'clock in the morning is a useful thing, and you've got up to 4 start times a day to choose from. Realistically, with riding arenas, usually you only need 1. So we're leaving this example as 1 start time at 1 o'clock in the morning. The next important area on our dial is watering days. This is where you can choose which days to water in the week and which days not to. For riding arena purposes, it's better to have all these drips in place, which means every day in the week is a watering day or a potential watering day. Because if you have one of these adjustable rain sensors, this device can interrupt programmed watering cycles if enough rain has fallen on it. As it dries out, it will then reset to allow the controller to continue watering cycles. It's simple and reliable. So make sure that this sensor switch is switched on, and then you'll find that if it rains enough on the sensor, a little umbrella will come up on the screen to tell you that it's too wet to water. When it disappears, that's the controller being allowed to return to programmed watering. Once this is done, make sure you put the dial to run, because that's the only setting that will allow all your settings to be actioned. Outside of your programmed watering, you may feel, well, I actually just want the system just to do a manual cycle right now, just once, and then go back to your programmed watering at 1 o'clock in the morning. How do we do that? Well, if we press and hold this right-hand blue button, you'll find that actually the system will go to zone 1, do the amount of time that's been set for, then 2, then 3, then 4, and then it will go back to programmed watering. Now, from the run setting, clicking to off will interrupt anything that's going on at that moment in time. But now we're interested in actioning a manual watering of an individual zone for an individual amount of time. So we go to this setting, the manual zone setting, click it through to there, select which zone we're interested in by indexing through the set that we've got here, 1 to 4, select 3, change the amount of time that we want to put on that and say that's 10 minutes. Having set that, nothing's going to happen until we push it to run, in which case here you can see a little action icon there saying that I'll run zone 3 for 10 minutes. And that's what it'll do. Just that once, and then it'll forget it after that point and return back to programmed watering. I hope the last 5 minutes of instruction from me about the use of the controller in a LeakyPipe system for riding arenas, it should encourage you to use this. It is a very, very useful tool. It will save you a lot of work. All you need to do is get friendly with it and use it and see what a difference it makes. Clearly, the wetter you want the surface, the longer you water it for. The drier you want it, the reverse. So do use this when you go riding. Just think, is this ideal or is it one way or the other? And make a little adjustment. Soon you'll find that you won't need to be doing many adjustments at all, and it just is always feeling pretty good. There's one further modern tweak, and that is for those of you who are interested in trying to bond this controller into the internet and use apps and iPhones and so on and so forth to communicate with the controller and do its setting. You can do it with this card. It basically logs onto your Wi-Fi and then you go from there. A word of warning with this though, although you can use the manual poke settings to do manual watering, you can't now use the controller to adjust your run times or your program start times. So just be mindful that not all tech is necessarily that useful. You're going to be on the riding arena. You will start thinking about the surface. The controller's right there near to the arena. Why not just go to the controller? But if you want to spend a bit more money and you do want to use your phone to do your programming, then this is a facility that you can have. Finally, thank you for the business. Please use the system. If you have questions, call us or WhatsApp us. One thing about maintenance is keep an eye on this water filter. It does need to be kept clean. Cartridges are available from our website. They're not expensive, but they're well worth having. Together with repair fittings if you do happen to get involved with having to repair the odd leaky pipe. Outside of that, I think I would say from all of us, thank you and enjoy the ride.